actually. Got in last night. Bit fucked.
Really?
No, I'm cool. I got a good sleep.
Getting ready to do the tour, huh?
Oh yeah, really.
Wow.
Well, the trouble is, I got my keyboard players in Canada at the moment. And the drummers in Philadelphia. 3 of us are here. My black chicks are stuck out in Los Angeles. So I'm just gonna have to regroup.
Meet everybody in Atlanta.
Yeah, something like that, you know.
Shit.
It's Philadelphia actually, so I got to get everybody to Philly.
Is that where you're gonna rehearse or something?
Yeah, well, we've been doing that shit, but I just want to like rehearse the chicks, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to Bobby Womack a few months ago.
Bobby?
Yeah, 3 months ago, and he was going on and on about your studio.
Yeah.
He was saying you got a tremendous studio and that he wanted to cut there. Did he ever cut anything there?
Yeah.
That's good. Did you play with? He said like you were going to have some guys sit in with him and.
Yeah, that's right. Me and Bobby, we don't know. We got like a mutual admiration society, you know.
I'll say.
I really dig him, man. I love his voice. I love what he plays. And I think it's kind of mutual. He rings me every now and again, see how I am, you know.
I know. Well, it's real funny because, like, he's from Cleveland, you know.
Is he?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Motherfucker never told me.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's from Cleveland, and he sang in gospel groups here. And
oh, man. Well, he's, you know, I mean, he was one of my fucking heroes, you know. I mean, from way back, from the Womack Brothers. When I used to have, like, Womack Brothers records.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess that was out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He cut all that stuff here, and, like, he used to play hops all the time for guys, you know.
Oh, incredible.
And they won't play his records here. I mean, he came back and we went around for a couple of days and, you know, he's just so nice, you know. And he really knows so many people and all the musicians appreciate him and he's big in other cities. But, I mean, Cleveland's his hometown where his relatives live and shit. And they don't even play his records here, you know.
Fucking hell. Listen, man, he can laugh all the way to the bank. At the same time, it's a drag that, like, you know, if I wasn't recognized in my hometown for doing something for him, you know, like if I go back to East Ham, which is where I live, everybody says, hey, Steve, what's happening? How you doing? I don't give a shit if they play my records, but they, you know, like, it's a nice thing, it's a nice feeling.
Yeah,
they're all pretty proud of you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, Bobby's one of the best American friends.
Yeah, he's just, but the thing that's real good about him is that he's so loose with other people that he's really into playing all kinds of music.
That's right. He's writing a lot of rock and roll, really.
Yeah, right. And the stuff he did on Woody's album is amazing.
It really is.
You know that song, I Can Say She's Alright? Boy, is that a good song.
Well, you know Mac, Ian McLagan's with him.
Yeah, right.
Right. Because, you know, we're getting the Small Faces back together.
Yeah, he mentioned that, you know.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be doing that, but the thing is, like, you know, Bobby was saying to me, don't worry about Mac, because, like, as soon as you get it back together, like, Mac's free to do whatever he wants to do, you know.
Good. Yeah, that's a real nice thing.
Yeah, well, he's a real nice guy, you know.
Yeah. He's, maybe you could, I guess you could do some shows together, even.
I'd love to. That's what we were talking about.
Boy, that'd be good. Because I think, you know, a lot of people need to be exposed to him yet, you know.
Well, I think so. A lot of people, you know, in England, too, you say Bobby who?
Yeah.
And to me, like, you're talking about one of the best singers there is.
Well, to every musician, just about. Everybody knows how good he is. And everybody talks about him, but outside of that, I bet people couldn't name a half dozen singles he put out.
No, this is true, man. This is true.
He's just unbelievable. I mean, he's the kind of guy, like, he says, if you ever want to get a hold of me, here's my home address. Come and stay at my place, you know.
That's right. And you can, too.
Yeah, right.
You know, you just go up there, man, you hang out, and, you know, his sister-in-law's Mary Wells.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So she's there, you know, like, you all have a sing and a play, you know, it's good. I'm not making it out like fucking Happy Days Toy Town. It's just a good get-together whenever you get together with Bobby, because he knows a lot of talented people, you know. Hold on, man, I just want to pour my beer.
Great.
Because my glass is empty.
Okay.
Right. So.
Yeah.
When are we in Cleveland, do you know?
I think May 21st.
Great.
Yeah, I don't know the venue yet.
No, no, I don't give a damn. I like Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a good
I remember
town.
we played a tiny little club in Cleveland.
One time you played at the Agora.
Yeah.
When the band first came out.
That's right, because the gig was cancelled or rained out or something. That's right, it was rained out, and we wanted to play bad, so we went to the club.
Yeah, that was kind of a one-off thing, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Yeah, I don't think our manager was too pleased about it.
No, they never are.
But fuck it, man.
Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a great time. I remember that place. It was hot and sweaty and small.
Uh-huh. Yeah, a lot of, well, now it's a big showcase for up-and-coming bands and stuff, you know.
Yeah, I can dig that. I can dig that. I mean, it had enough room to get our equipment on the stage at the time, so shit. You know. I mean, when I say it's small and sweaty, it's fucking the Spectrum Philadelphia, it's small and sweaty, you know?
Yeah, right.
But they're the kind of places I dig. I much prefer small places. Theaters, clubs.
Yeah, with Humble Pie it got pretty big, you know.
Yeah, well, it gets out of hand, you know, and then it gets into a money thing.
Yeah.
You know, and people want you to do like, yeah, we'll do 2 shows at Madison Square Garden. You know, fuck it, I don't really want to get into that with this band. I really don't, you know. I just want to, like, study some theaters and do more clubs and do smaller places. Do 2 shows in a place that holds 1,500, 2,000, you know. That's how I feel, man, you know, because I've done that realm.
Yeah,
and I don't like it. I don't feel at home with it. You know, I try to feel at home with it, but I can't, you know?
Well, I think this album is going to really do something, though.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good it is.
Oh, bless you, man. I'm glad you dig it.
I mean, like, it's real funny, because at first, the only side I listened to was East Side Strutting and right down through Wham Bam Thanking Me. I mean, then you put over on the American side, and, like, it's a little more melodic and different. You know?
Right. That's right. It's what my band's into, you see. Like, my band is into playing, that's why I've got to get my chicks together. Because what we're doing is kind of, instead of putting like a load of rock and roll together and a load of kind of melodic things and doing it on stage that way, obviously it's like one-on-one, you know. Like, we'll do East Side Strutting and then we'll do You Don't Know Me, or you know what I mean? Which is great, man, because it's a great cross-section to do.
Yeah, right.
Instead of sticking to one thing, you know. Because fuck, I don't want to be stuck to one thing all my life.
No, I mean, it's funny, you know, like, seeing how Frampton's real popular now and how long it took him doing what he's doing. I mean, he, like, is broke, busted, and disgusted, you know. Up until a few months ago, now he's a big star again. You know,
good luck to him, man. He's a cat worked hard, you know. He deserves all he gets.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, you've been up and down the ladder same as him. You know, more times than him. And,
a few years longer.
Right, I would say.
It don't matter, man. Well, you know, I don't think I'd want what Peter has. You understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because he's a real vulnerable person. Because he's a real nice guy, you know.
Real quiet fella.
Yeah.
And very gullible.
Yeah, right.
And I know what I want, man. I don't think, you see, it's like Peter, he left the Pie before the Pie was really a success.
Right.
Really, on a huge scale. So he doesn't know what it's like.
Yeah.
He's only just beginning to know what that's like.
Yeah, right.
And I think when you want success, you just grab at the first kind of success that you can see. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because it's success of any sort. But I want a certain kind of it. You know what I mean? I want a respectability in there. I don't want to play those fucking moose halls no more.
Moose halls? I guess that's what they are, aren't they?
Really, man. You know, I really don't want to. I'd rather not play them, and I'd rather not get hung up in that circuit, and I'd rather not be on the front page of Cashbox. Now, the point is that I get put down by you know, certain people for saying that, because they want me on the front page of Cashbox.
Yeah.
So, like, I've got to try and keep a lot under control.
Yeah, right. Well, are you, like, a little more, you're going to be more in control of what you do now than
I'm in total control of what I do now, so if I fuck up, man, that's my fault.
Yeah, right.
If I can't turn around and say, you know, you cunts, you let me down, you know, it's me. You know, I've put the fucking thing together, and if it screws up, then it's my fault.
Well,
but I think it will, man. It's the best band I had, so I can't see it screwing up.
Yeah, right. I mean, like, from the time that, you know, Humble Pie broke up, how long did it take you? Was there ever a point where you thought you didn't want to tour?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Sure was. You know, I was like rehearsing a lot of people and trying to get into, what the fuck do I want to do? I nearly joined the Stones, I nearly did this, I nearly did that. In the end, I thought, fuck it all, man. I think I'll just get married and have a kid. So I did.
Right.
But then, like, I got itchy feet again. You know, I got married, I had my kid, and it's beautiful, but at the same time, man, I thought, fuck it. I wasn't fulfilling myself. I had my studio. I worked there all the time, but it wasn't like in front of people, and I really worked better in front of people than in front of a fucking mixing board, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So, that's why I'm back on the road.
A junkie for music, of course. You know.
Yeah, I'm afraid so, mate. It does appear that way, yeah.
Anyway, like, Ian used to play with King Crimson and stuff. How'd you pick him up? Because, like, the rhythm section in the new band is so good now, I can't believe it.
Yeah, they're a bit tight, ain't they?
Yeah, really. Mm-hmm. Big difference, you know.
Yeah, they're just a bit tighter and not so spasmodic, you know? I don't know, they're all old friends, man.
Oh, I mean, you know Ian for a long time, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see, Ian was the drummer on Street Rats.
That's right, too, yeah.
And a thing called Funky to the Bone. And was originally intended to go on my album.
Oh, I see.
You know, I made an album, like, of demos, which I called Lend Us a Quid, and I gave to A&M, and it was really just me and Ian Wallace. As the track Street Rats is just me and Ian Wallace. It's only two people. Right? So, anyway, they turned it down, yeah. But, Ian and I have been, well, we've been around together for years. Mickey Finn, I've known for, it's not the cat from T-Rex.
No, I know that. Everybody said it is. I knew it wasn't him.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, you think I'm going to have that guy in my band? You got to be crazy.
He's just a conga player, ain't he? I don't know.
He plays conga. He don't play shit. So, you know, I'm going to have a guy like posing on the stage, you know, play shit. No. It don't fit with what I like.
Well, where did Mickey come from?
He comes from the East End of London, mate. He was a friend of mine before we were, like, musicians or into music, you know? We just used to hang out and get drunk and take pills, you know, and do stupid things, nick cars. And he got a band together called Mickey Finn and the Blue Boys, doing all this kind of reggae, Jamaican stuff years back. And he's a lovely guy. He's notorious in LA already. He rode 3 cars off. And he's a lunatic. But he's really nice.
A lot of fun to be on the road with, I guess.
Yeah, it's great. But he's very akin to Keith Richards, his playing. You know, he plays very similar. Once he finds what he wants, he sticks to it, and he'll never variate from it, which gives me a lot of room.
Yeah, right.
You know, Clem's with me now.
Yeah, Martin from A&M told me that, which is really surprising. You know, why'd you decide to have Clem back?
Well, because of what I wanted to get into. Because I thought, now, if I'm going to do just like what's on one side of that album, right? I don't need anything but what there is. You know, the 4 people, because my guitar playing was adequate. You know, the rhythm playing from Mickey was adequate. Everything was, you know, down the line. But if I want to start doing some Randy Newman stuff, which I do, and do some stuff like Late Night Lady and Star in My Life, all trips like this. Now, I can't play the axe as well as I want and sing the fucking thing as well as I want.
Came off great on the record, though, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the guitar playing is real. That's another thing, like, that's even good about this album.
Yeah, you know, well, Jerry Moss, how many years he's known me? 4 or 5 years. He sits and he listens to it. He says, I love it. He said, who's playing guitar? I said, I am.
That's what it surprised me.
Yes, he said, you are? I said, yeah. I said, what do you think it was, a fucking prop? You know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
All these years I've been stood up there playing. Okay, man, you know, maybe people don't know that I can play, but maybe this album will prove I can, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, just...
I don't want to be known for any, you know what I mean, but I'm adequate.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, how many years have you been playing?
Too many fucking years to be that bad.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like, but Clem's, is he going to be, like, permanent with the band, or is he just going to work the tour and see what happens?
Yeah, that's more or less where it is, you know. Clem wasn't working. And he came round, and I said, well, why don't you work with me? Simple as that, you know. I said, like, because I'm thinking of doing a few things. And he said, well, yeah, he said, I'd love to. You know, it's very, very weird because of the breakup of Humble Pie. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you got the front line of Humble Pie with you.
Yeah, people are really going to wonder why it even broke up in the first place, except,
well, because
you know.
Because we were sick of the music we were playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's very simple. It wasn't anything to do with individual nasties, and we just, the music we were all playing, we couldn't get away from it. We couldn't get away from these fucking great halls.
Yeah.
Where we had to go on a turn up at 5,000 watts and play this fucking music.
Right.
So, like, at least now, we've got a beautiful keyboard player. This cat's never been in a band before, and he's got arms going everywhere, you know? Cat's a little genius. So, like, we got him, plus, like, a 3-guitar lineup. And Clem also plays organ, so do I. So, like, there's an awful lot of, you know, I'm not going to stick to any one thing. Yeah,
well, you know, it was real funny about promoters and about things, you know, like, you even could have had Jerry still in the band, and if you wouldn't have called yourself Humble Pie, they wouldn't have booked you into those big halls.
That's right.
Isn't that silly?
That's right. I know that.
You have to change your name just to get away from an image.
That's right.
Which is nothing, you know.
I was going to call the band just the All-Stars. And I said, well, fuck it. I thought that the All-Stars can break up. Steve Marriott can't break up. He can die, but he can't break up.
Right.
So at least if I establish myself, then, like, I can be booked.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, really. Well, see.
Because I don't like to sort of push myself. At the same time, I thought, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, at least I can't break up. And if any of the guys in the band leave or they're unhappy, there'll always be an All-Star.
Right.
You know?
No, that's true, but, like, I mean, for as many bands as you've been in, and been the most important member in, probably, you know, still, for booking purposes,
they need the name.
Yeah, they need a name. So
exactly,
at least this way, you know, everybody else.
Well, that's why I chose mine.
Yeah, right.
I thought maybe I won't be out of a gig for a few years that way.
You keep working, yeah.
Yeah.
What made you recut Wham Bam Thank You Man?
I don't know. Because I think it was like meeting all the old faces again and
Was this
playing all the old stuff.
Yeah.
I just thought Wham Bam Thank You Man was a thing that was before its time anyway. When we cut it originally in '67.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, why not do it again? It still stands up today as far as I'm concerned.
I'll say it seemed like, especially in America, it was one of the least played Small Faces cuts, and yet one of the heaviest. Well, it was in England.
Yeah. It didn't do a fucking thing. It was the last Small Faces single.
And it was heavy. You know, it was heavier than any other stuff.
That's why no one bought it.
Yeah, right.
You know, they wanted an Itchy Park or, you know, what we were doing then was kind of like how we were on stage. Wham Bam Thank You Man.
So it was like a transitional to Humble Pie type thing, maybe.
That's right. But no, you see, the Small Faces on stage, you never saw them. The Small Faces on stage weren't that different from fucking Humble Pie.
Really?
No, they were a straight out-and-out rock and roll band. We never played Itchy Park on stage.
That's what Ronnie Lane, I did an interview with Ronnie about last year before, like, you guys were thinking about getting back together. But like he said, well, unless you'd seen the Small Faces on stage, you have no idea what the band was like, you know.
That's right. The band was an out-and-out rock and roll band. Totally. In fact, like, it was only us and the Who and the Stones that were playing that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, the records that we made that were put out as singles were chosen by some executive that was very smart. You know, but what we did on stage was totally different to fucking things like Itchy Park. And what we did was more like Wham Bam Thank You Man. I thought I'd put it on there anyway. It was nice to have Marriott Lane again on an album, you know.
Yeah, right. Was it a good songwriting team?
Yeah, really. We got together the weekend before I came here it's only about 3 or 4 days ago. We must have written about seven fucking songs for a new album that we want to do, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good Ronnie's back in something mainstream, because, like, he just seemed to be getting pissed a lot and
that's right. Well,
fucking around.
Ronnie doesn't want to be a band leader.
Right.
Right? And that's what he told me this. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me telling him. He don't want to really be a band leader, but he put himself up as one.
Yeah, and it was a lot of pressure, you know.
That's right. And Ronnie doesn't really want the aggravation. You know, and he knows that, like, I'm used to that. You know? And so that's why the two of us are back together, because, like, he relies on me as much as I rely on him, in a way, you know? He relies on me to be the front, and he's a very clever guy.
Yeah, he's really, really such a nice person.
Oh, he's beautiful.
He's just hard-pressed to explain certain things that he does, you know.
Yeah, I know. He'll go around the bushes to tell you what the tree is, you know. He's hilarious. Yeah. But he's one of my best pals, and in the end we had to get back together, you know. So we must have written about fucking 7 numbers last weekend, and recorded them. Just so, like, we'd have them so we'd come, when I came back, we'd know what to start rehearsing.
Well, there sure won't be a lack of places to record between your studio, his studio, and
right, exactly.
You can go anywhere.
Well, I thought Ronnie's mobile could do it. We'd bring Ronnie's mobile down to my house, hook up the 2 desks, and record 24, you know. This is the weird thing, you know, without even knowing it, we'd bought exactly the same equipment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the same people, because we both wanted the best. So we went to this cat who built Olympic and Ireland and everything. And he built me the same desk as he built Ronnie. He put in the same 16-track machine, same make, everything. So, like, we can hook them up, match them up with no sweat.
That's really an odd thing.
Yeah, it is, ain't it? You know, when I said that to Ronnie, he said, well, Ronnie just said, well, we both wanted the best. Which is true. Simple as that, really. Because I said, ain't it weird? We both got the same equipment.
What studios had you been like? I mean, compared to the things when you were cutting with the small faces, would you cut that in like 8-track?
4-track.
4-track. Yeah, that's right. It was.
No, 8-track was a big news from America then.
Oh, really? They didn't have it in the studios.
No. 8-track was like the beginning of Humble Pie. Down about 69, we started recording 8-track.
Oh, I see.
Up to then, we only had fucking 4-track. You know, we had to go down to 2, then up to 4. Then dub something on while you're mixing it. You know, that shit.
Yeah. It was, it's funny though, I mean, the records still came out real clean.
Didn't they?
And you hear them today, turn them up, and they're still pumping.
That's right, man. In fact, I found a lot of backtracks on 15-inch tape. And I put them on, and the quality was as good, if not better, than anything that I'd listened to that whole day. I was making an inventory of stereo tapes that I'd had. And I couldn't believe it. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, this is done so many years ago on a poxy old 4-track machine. Yeah. I think a lot of that was down to the engineer. He's so brilliant. He's Glenn Johns. Brilliant man. Yeah.
That's right. He did it at most of those sessions, didn't he?
That's right. He's a very, very brilliant engineer.
Real busy nowadays.
Well, didn't
he work with Ronnie?
Yeah, for a little while. He works with everybody for a little while. Then everybody gets pissed off with him.
Oh, he's a little domineering, huh?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
You end up rowing with him, and you think, what the fuck am I rowing with this guy for?
It's your album.
Yeah, it's my fucking album. Yeah, that's right. You know, so, like, that's what happens usually with Glenn. You do one album with him, then you start arguing around the second one, and that's it.
Oh, God.
The same happened with Humble Pie. He did the first... No, not the first one. His brother did the second one.
Didn't he do Safe as Yesterday?
No, we did that. We did that ourselves. And then Town and Country was done by Andrew Jones, his brother.
Oh, you don't hear much from him at all.
No, he does. He's been doing the Stones all the time. Andrew. He's a very clever man, too. And then Glenn we brought in for the Humble Pie. The first I had 2 A&M albums. Right. You know? Yeah, Rock On and the Humble Pie white cover thing. Right. And then, like, we had a row with him, and we went the same route.
But, you know, like, there's debates about, you know, between Humble Pie fans here. I mean, there's, like, 2 factions of Humble Pie fans, and every time I read a review of it, I get real pissed off, because it seems like a lot of the other critics are always into the early Humble Pie.
Yeah, I know that, man, but when we were doing it, where were they?
That's right.
You know, I mean... Those kind of people, they don't worry me at all, because, like, I can't do a thing right for them. Yeah. You know, you're either doing... They called us too diverse then. Yeah. You know, we didn't have anything. We were looking for a direction, they used to say.
I guess you're not allowed to do that, you know. You're supposed to know what you want to do or something like that.
Right, you know, right. Then they said we had no direction. Then you do the same thing all the time. Listen, man, you know, like, those people, they don't fucking worry me at all. Yeah. They're always saying, like, oh, that made such good records back then. Well, why didn't they buy them, niggas? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, didn't make 2 cents off of those records, probably.
No.
You know. And
in fact, we ended owing, you know.
And then they damn you for having I Don't Need No Doctor, you know, which you know, at least kept everybody working, and it was a good track.
That would be a little classic in about 5 or 6 years.
Oh, it is. It is a
put it on. Yeah, right, but dig it, in 5 or 6 years, someone will say, hey, do you remember this? Put it on the radio, and everyone goes, fuck me, yeah. Yeah. It's a little classic in its own way. I would never down I Don't Need No Doctor as a track. As an album track, it was tremendous.
Well, and plus wasn't it written spontaneously on stage someday? Yeah, you just started fucking around saying...
No arrangements.
Yeah, right.
It was more like, eyes down, I'll see you at the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, you know... Some of the best tracks happen that way, you know.
I think 90% of them do, yeah. And no matter what stream of music, you know.
It seems like, you know, East Side Struttin' is one track that probably happened that way.
Exactly.
Ended up being a real strong riff song.
That's right. Mickey's got a riff, so Steve writes some words, and there you go. Yeah. That's what happens.
How about Midnight Rollin'? I really like that.
Exactly the same. But I wrote that with my wife.
Did you really?
Yeah. If you look on the thing, it's got Marriott Stevens.
Oh, who's Steven?
That's Pam, my wife.
Oh, okay.
We weren't married then.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because I didn't know who that was.
She wrote all the fucking words. Because, like, she'd just run off with me, and she's a Southern Baptist family, you know? And everyone was down in her for running off with a fucking long-haired hippie, you know? And she wrote those words. I thought, they're nice words, love. And I put some chords around them.
Midnight rolling on my back, 30 days in the back of a Cadillac, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's written from a chick's point of view, the whole fucking thing.
Well, I gotta listen to it again.
Yeah.
Because see, I didn't get that from it at all. I thought it was like,
how could you, man?
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to get that from it. I sang it like a guy, and it's a guy's trip. But if you wanted to talk about it, it's written by a chick. The words are written by a chick who's never been on the road before.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and she's saying it's crazy, man, but I've got to do it, you know? Which is lovely. I thought, yeah, that's nice. I thought she wrote some nice lyrics, so I thought I'd put a wrist to that.
Yeah, in light of that, yeah, you're right, you know.
Yeah. I wish the bitch would write some more.
So you wouldn't have to work, huh?
No, fucking, I'm manager.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Where did the track "Are You Lonely for Me, Baby" come from? Because I really like that, and I never heard it.
Yeah, it's a very old song. It's an old kind of a... who originally did that? I forget his name. Fuck, it's someone like Bobby... Not Bobby Bland or Bobby Womack, but it's someone in that tradition. Back then, did it really slow, you know? There was a number like... it was called "Searching for My Baby," which is very similar.
Yeah, right.
They both came out about the same time. I just thought I'd like to do it, you know.
What did you do? Have it on an old tape or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Is most of your record collection is a lot of R&B and stuff too?
Exactly. Well, that's it. I haven't bought a record in maybe 10 fucking years.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, like most of my records don't play anymore, but the ones that do, you know, that's the only ones I play. The stuff I take on the road with me is either what I've been doing recently or the old stuff. You know, like old R&B stuff. I can't get away from that. I mean, I love it. I also love Randy Newman. I mean, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm doing one of his numbers in the set that we're doing, you know.
What's that?
What, Louisiana? Yeah, we're doing Louisiana off the Good Old Boys album.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, well, Harry Nilsson, did a whole album of Newman stuff and that, but, Newman's another one of those people that, a lot of artists really, really like and appreciate, but the people don't.
Yeah, I know. Well, you gotta, in that case, maybe it helps if you take it to him a bit.
Yeah.
You know, if you use any pulling power you have as a vehicle for, you know, saying, listen, schmucks, this is fucking amazing. You're buying crap that I've written, and there's this beautiful stuff that this guy's written.
Yeah, right. That's a weird way to look at it, but, you know, I suppose...
No, I don't. Well, obviously I'm using extremes.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm not saying what I'm writing. You know, I don't write that good, but I don't write that bad. So.
Don't worry, I wouldn't quote you on that.
I don't mind, man.
Some people would maybe, but...
I've had worse, yeah.
Oh, God. But anyway, you know, since you've been using your studio a lot and everything, do you have any plans of producing anybody other than, supervising the Womack sessions?
Yeah, I'll be doing a lot of things. I can't... I'll know more... Look, I'll see you around the 21st, right?
Yeah,
Right, I'll know more about it then, because both Track and Swan Song won't be produced for them.
Great.
So I've got to, sort of suss out which company you know, if I want to tie myself down to a company, which I wouldn't mind, right?
Oh. Well, I don't know. Track has... who's on Track in England?
I don't know. You know, this is what I mean.
You gotta find out. Yeah.
You know, Swan Song's more interesting because Jimmy knows what I've been doing. We see each other every now and again, and he listens to the stuff that I've been doing at the studio and loves it. So does Robert. So, you know, they know what I can do in my own studio. Whereas Track had just taken a wild guess, you see.
Yeah, the other thing is that they have, pretty things.
Yeah, well, they're open for new artists.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to go in and produce people and someone says, here, produce this person. You know, I'd rather find someone, right, that isn't signed to anybody.
Well, that'd be...
And say, okay, you know, I produce for blah, blah, and make an album for them. I mean, that's more exciting for me, to be able to go out and find acts.
Yeah, that'd be good, too. But one person, who could really stand a lot funkier producer is Maggie Bell.
Oh, you ain't kidding, are you? She's so good.
She's great, but yet her albums haven't
She makes
been...
her albums suck, I know.
Too ballad-like, you know. She tries to dress up, and yet when you see her in concert, she kicks everybody's ass.
She kicks ass. That's what, well, I know. If I did, I'd love to produce Maggie. If I did, I'd kick her ass. You know, I mean, it's as simple as that. I wouldn't stand for none of that bullshit. You know, get out there, bitch, and scream a bit.
Yeah.
You know, do what the people come to see you to do.
Yeah, and then they, you know, dress her up and put makeup on the cover and try to sell her that way.
Oh,
you know.
fuck no. She's a funky bitch, you know.
Yeah. She roars, drinks, and has a good time.
Exactly. She's like Joplin.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, I'd say she's got a better voice than Joplin.
Definitely.
But she's just as good a performer.
Well, I saw, you know, it was funny. The first band that she brought to America when Queen of the Night album came out, which I didn't like at all, but I saw her and she played with the Strawbs in Cleveland, and she had Jimmy McCullough on guitar.
Yeah.
It was a hot band she had that night.
That was.
It was really good.
Yeah, I know. I played with that band a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in England, you know, like on festivals and things like that.
Yeah, right.
But the last festival I did with Maggie was at Charlton with The Who. And she didn't get any reaction at all. And it was kind of upsetting.
Yeah, I saw her Bad Company tour. Same thing.
What, no reaction?
Yeah, people just... And it was like a 10,000-seater. And I don't think she's...
She don't know how to handle it right.
No, but I saw her... It's
not right for her anyway. She should be playing little fucking 2,000-seaters, you know, and picking their ass and getting them off. That's what I can see, you know.
The best thing is like when you see her getting hot and sweaty and just moving around.
Not when you got to use a pair of binoculars.
Right, that's exactly it.
Right. I'm all for that, man. You know, from what I was saying before, you know how I feel about that shit.
Yeah, right. That'd be real interesting to see you doing some production like that, cause
man, I'm not getting any younger, so I've got to get into that. You know, I mean, I don't intend to run the road all my life, you know.
Yeah, right.
So like, Ronnie and I, in fact, are after our own label.
Great.
Like Small Faces Records.
That'd be good.
That would be good, wouldn't it? Because it'd have me individually, it'd have Ronnie Lane individually, it'd have the Small Faces. There's a few other chicks and guys that I've got in mind. And that would be fantastic. That was the last thing we were talking about. If you're going to produce for anyone, produce for your own fucking people.
Yeah, why not? There's enough writing talent in the stable.
Oh, for sure.
Just like that.
You know, and enough talent, you know, individually and collectively. So it's like saying, I think me on my own or Ronnie on his own wouldn't have the power to go to like a parent company and say, look, give us a label. But as the Small Faces, I think we do have the power. I think we could go and say, hey, you know, like, we'll guarantee you X amount of shit, you know, but all we want is our own label, really.
Yeah, it was fun because during that period when nothing came out, just before Christmas, there hadn't been any, like Ronnie hadn't done anything, you hadn't done anything, and then Immediate Records released the double Small Faces album.
Yeah.
And that started getting a lot of airplay, and I guess it started selling pretty good, too, you know.
Yeah, I got it, in fact. I think Mac brought it back from the States. Yeah. Gave it to me. It's a fucking good album. It is. It's excellent. It's a real good cross section of material for the band. You know, not just the singles, but some of the heavier stuff. Well, I've got Ronnie had cassetted for me to take away everything we'd ever done, everything. Wow. So like, I'm carrying with me at the moment, listening to it. It's great, man. You know, some stuff there that like no one's heard. You know. Which is really good because it's like I can play it to people and they go, "What the fuck is that?" And you say, "It's a Small Faces." And they go, "What?" You know, because they wouldn't expect me to be playing them Small Faces stuff. Yeah, or if I did, they would have heard it already. Yeah, right. Well, what's going to happen then in terms of a tour? I mean, don't you think that a Small Faces tour is going to cause a lot of excitement and draw big halls? Oh, yeah, but I can't tell you about that yet. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? But got to be all together first. Yeah, that's right. But it's going to happen. Probably by September or something like that. We're thinking even earlier. Well, summer's a great time to tour. That's right, man. We were really thinking of like July. You know, late July. That'd be really good. That'd help. Would you carry any extra people, or would it just be the four of you? Oh, yeah. We'd carry whatever each individual number needed. As simple as that. There's some numbers that doesn't need anything more than the four of us. Right. But there are some things that need augmenting. And we would take the right people for if you want a string section on this number, or a brass section on this, or chick singers on this, or a flutist on that. I don't know, you know, for each number, it's like horses for courses, you know? Yeah, it'd be great to have chick singers and a lot of the old material. It'd be really nice. That's right, you know. Really beef it up a lot, huh? Right, well, we would do, but obviously we're not young, we're not silly boys, you know, we're all quite sort of, wiser in the tooth now. I mean, before we had this really ridiculous concept of like there are but four Small Faces. Of course. You don't take, you know, we do everything. You know what I mean? But like, it can't be done. You know, I'd much rather It's like almost what I'm trying to do with the band I got now. It's like for each individual number, whoever needs to fucking play what, or if the chick has to come in on it, or if Clem's got to move to organ, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same deal, really. You have to bring in and take out for each number.
Are you gonna? Is there any chance that you doing anything with acoustic guitar on stage anymore?
Oh yeah.
Are you?
But I thought I should save that until I'm a headline act on my own. Because I'm not really at the moment. You know, like I'm headlining clubs. When I say clubs, it's like little fiestas,
right?
Like 3,000 seaters. But if I ever get into moose halls, it's going to be awful hard to play acoustics.
Yeah, right.
So like if I can keep a headline status in fiestas, like from coast to coast, then I could start doing it. But at the moment, because I'm mainly a second on the bill thing, I've just got to hit and run, you know?
That's like, well, Frampton's having that trouble now. He went from like, his act was geared to playing 2,000 and 3,000 seaters, or smaller even.
Yeah.
Like he was playing like 500 to 800 seater clubs in some cities.
Yeah.
And then he turns around, he's got a #1 record and shit, and he's playing, like you said, moose halls.
That's
and
right.
trying to do the acoustic stuff and can't hear himself.
Can't hear shit.
Yeah.
I know.
So he may have to change that, you know.
I know. That's a drag, you know. But if I can keep it to theatres. See, my concept is this: if you're going to play in a city and you're going to play in a fucking moose hall that holds 15,000 people, then stay there for 3 nights and play a place that holds 5.
That's right.
You
it's
know,
more work, but the show is really worth it. You know?
Yeah, well, and the people that came would enjoy it because they're closer to you. You're closer to them.
Yeah.
You're in their town for 3 days. You have a ball. You can hang out a bit in the evening. That's what I'd rather do. You know, instead of playing and fucking running that night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, some acts are kind of demanding that. Even like Bruce Springsteen up here, and you know, like people go nuts over him and shit. And they wanted him to play like a Coliseum, which is a 20,000 seater.
Yeah.
He wanted to play a 3,000 seater, and he played 3 nights in a row.
Well,
sold all of them out.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly, and that's where. See, it's up to the musicians now, and we have to fucking put the business back into perspective.
Right.
Because it's been put out of perspective by promoters, greedy agents, whoever. They just want as much money in one night as they can get. And it's not the musicians, because we don't see much of that money.
That's true.
Yeah, right.
So if it isn't that, you may as well have
right, so you might as well enjoy yourself.
Right.
You know? I think if the musicians demand, then they're going to get, because the agents obviously want their percentage, managers want theirs. So fuck it, man, and they'll still get the same, it just means you'd hang out.
Yeah, well, I think that's finally starting to happen, you know.
I hope so, man.
People are smartening up.
Well, I'm all for it, and I'm going to be campaigning for it as much as I can.
Yeah, right.
You know? Anyway, God bless you.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, I'll see you when you come to town.
Yeah, when I get in there, just give us a ring at the fucking hotel. Come on, have a drink.
Great. Okay?
That'll be fine, Jim.
Okay, Steve.
Take it easy.
Goodbye now.
God bless you.
Bye.
Ta-da, mate.